Hello class 8. Last day we were going through circulatory system. I hope you remember that. And now I am resuming my chapter from blood vessels part. Okay. Now you know that in circulatory system there are three types of blood vessels: arteries, veins and capillaries. Now what are the functions of the three? We will go through it separately. Arteries, they carry blood away from the heart. They have thick and muscular walls which are highly elastic. Blood flows under high pressure. So they carry blood away from the heart. This is the main function. And they have thick and muscular walls. That is why the lumen inside the arteries are always very small. That is why the blood flows under a high pressure. Veins, they carry blood towards the heart. Their walls are much thinner than the walls of the arteries. Blood flows under low pressure. They have valves that prevent the backflow of blood. So here, this is the basic difference between arteries and veins. They carry blood towards the heart and their walls are much thinner than the walls of the arteries. That is why, the pressure is also very low. The lumen is much wider than the arteries and they have valves that prevent the backflow of blood. This is one of the main characteristics of veins, that they have valves. And valves, they act like an unidirectional door. Now, capillaries, they connect arteries with veins. Now, this is the function of capillaries. They connect arteries with veins. The wall is only one cell thick. The wall is only one cell thick and they connect the arteries with the veins. So, this is the function of capillaries. Now, this is the major part of this chapter, because heart is the main organ. Heart is the muscular organ enclosed by pericardium. Pericardium is a membrane that is protecting the heart, and the heart is enclosed within it. The membrane has a fluid called pericardial fluid. And what is the function of this fluid? It protects the heart from shocks and jerks, so that it is a delicate organ. As we all know, it can be protected. The heart has four chambers. The upper two chambers have thin walls and are called auricles. They receive blood from different parts of the body. And the lower two chambers have thick walls and are called as ventricles. They pump the blood out of the heart. So there are four chambers in total: upper two auricles and lower two ventricles. Between the right auricle and right ventricle, there is a tricuspid valve. Similarly, between the left auricle and left ventricle, there is a bicuspid valve. And just now I have said you, while discussing about the veins, that valve is like an unidirectional door. So that means these valves are in between the auricles and ventricles in order to prevent the backflow of the blood from the ventricles to the auricles of the respective sides. I hope it's clear, the structure of the heart. Now we'll go to the circulation, and I will give you a flow chart which will help you to understand the circulation part. See, this is the flow chart. Okay. At first, we will see that the deoxygenated blood, that is, I have written minus O2 blood, that means deoxygenated, that means impure blood, is coming through inferior vena cava and superior vena cava to the right auricle. From right auricle, this impure blood is going to the right ventricle, and in between there is tricuspid valve. From the right ventricle, pulmonary artery is carrying the impure blood to the lungs for purification. From the lungs, after purification, with the help of pulmonary vein, the oxygenated blood, that means the pure blood, is going to left auricle. From left auricle, this oxygenated blood is moving to left ventricle, and in between there is bicuspid valve. From left ventricle, this pure blood with the help of dorsal aorta is circulating to the whole body. After that, again from the whole body, the impure blood is collected and is poured inside the right auricle. I hope this cycle is very clear to you, students. Please, if you have your textbook, go through the textbook, the explanation, and go through my flow chart. It will help you to understand it in a very clear manner. Now, heartbeat. Now, what is this heartbeat? The doctor listens to the two part of the heartbeat as lub and dub sound using a device, using an instrument. I hope you all have seen they keep one side of it in their ears and the other side on our chest. That is the stethoscope. So stethoscope is the device with which the doctor listens to the heartbeat, whether the heart is working properly, the blood is circulating properly. Okay. The stretching and relaxing of the arteries with each heartbeat is felt as a throbbing, especially near our wrist. You know that is called pulse. It is the definition of pulse. It is easy to feel the pulse at the side of the neck or wrist. Next part is blood pressure. Now it has two parts. Blood pressure has two parts. One is systolic pressure and another is diastolic pressure. I hope you have heard that whenever the doctors, they measure the pressure, blood pressure, then they always give a upper limit and an upper limit and an inner a lower limit. So the upper limit is the systolic pressure and the lower limit is the diastolic pressure. And what is the ideal range of it in an adult? The average pressure that an adult should have is 120 by 80 millimeter of mercury. Now this is measured, the unit is millimeter of mercury, because you know mercury is we can also see this mercury in our thermometers. I hope you all have seen it is a silvery metal and it is a liquid metal. That is the reason why is it put inside the every device, you know, the thermometers, the manometers, the pressure devices. So we measure the pressure with the help of this mercury because it is the liquid metal and it is 120 by 80 millimeter of mercury. Now it is measured by an instrument. We call it as sphygmomanometer. Please note it, sphygmomanometer. Clear, students? Don't misspell the word. It is sphygmomanometer with which this pressure is measured. Okay. Okay, so students, we are done with this chapter. I hope there is no problem. If you have problem, every day I say this, you can write your problems in the comment box and I'll definitely answer it. And please go through your textbook, my notes. I think you will be helped by it. Okay, thank you.